Howdy folks, and welcome to the Hillbilly Kitchen. Today we're making ham salad. Now, ham salad is one of those recipes with like a billion variations, and it's a great leftover recipe. It's a stretch your food, get you by, make ahead of time recipe. So if you've got something going on and you need a meal later, you can make this ahead, stick it in the fridge. You don't need a whole lot of ham to feed quite a few people. What I'm using today is about 8 ounces of ham, and I've got it diced up. It's around 1.5 cups, but it depends on how you've chopped it, how much it's going to be. But you need about ½ pound for the recipe that I'm doing, and I'm kind of doing a throw it together variation, I guess, with what I have. So how much ham you have in it, it really kind of depends on how much ham you have and how many people you want to feed, because like I said, you can make this stretch almost infinitely. You could probably feed 6-7 people with 1 pound of ham if you add enough other stuff. For the basic recipe, most people always use mayonnaise in it. If you don't like mayonnaise, you can use Greek yogurt or something like that, or you can even leave it out entirely. You could use a little buttermilk or regular milk to give it that kind of creamy texture that salads and sandwich spreads have. So you don't have to put mayonnaise in this if you don't like it. This really is a recipe where you're going to want to think about everything you like on a ham sandwich, or everything you like with ham or on ham when you just eat ham. And any of that stuff you can put in this. And you can put in just about any kind of chopped vegetable, like bell peppers, onions, celery. You can add dill pickles or sweet pickles. And I have about 1/4 cup of sweet pickle relish. Now, when my Aunt Dot used to make this, she would always use dill pickles. And I really like it with dill pickles, but Brett is not a dill pickle fan. So I use the sweet pickle relish when I make it for him. Sweet pickles, dill pickles, it's whatever you like. Most people also put a little mustard in it, because if you're thinking about a ham sandwich, generally a little mayo, a little mustard, some pickles. I've got about a 1.5 tablespoons or so of mustard. I didn't measure any of this stuff real close because, like I said, this is a leftover recipe, and it's a to-taste recipe. But just for basic starts, 8 ounces of ham, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. If you like a lot of mayonnaise, you might want as much as 3/4 cup of mayonnaise. Now, on my ham sandwiches, I like some cheese, and I've got about 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. If you don't have shredded cheese, you don't have to put it in this. If you don't like it, don't put it in this. If you're eating this on sandwiches, you can just add a slice of cheese if you don't have shreds. And you can also use chunked up cheese. Just dice it up about the same size as your ham. A lot of people also puree their ham, and they'll put it in a food processor. When I grew up, we didn't have food processors, and sometimes my mom and my aunts, my granny, they would make this with that deviled ham, the pureed ham in a can. You can use that in this recipe. You can also use canned luncheon meat like Spam or Treat or the store brand, whatever you got. A way to stretch this is by adding boiled eggs. That will stretch your meat. The boiled egg, when you mash it up, will give you that kind of, it adds to the dressing, the creamy part of the salad, like in potato salad and stuff, or pasta salad. You mash up the egg in there, and it really gives it that, the filling, the dressing. It adds some body to it and some creaminess to it. So I've got 2 boiled eggs here. Now you're going to need something to serve this with or serve this on. You can add this to pasta. Now, pasta is another one of those things that you can cook in a big pot and cook it ahead of time. If you're going to be using it in cold stuff like this, and you make like 1 pound of it, rinse it in cold water and then put it in the refrigerator, and that'll help keep it from turning into a big starchy lump. If you're going to be adding it to hot dishes like soups or something, don't rinse it. Just add a little butter, or you can even add a little olive oil or something to it and stir that up, and that oil will keep it from sticking together. But if you want to cook a lot ahead of time to save you some time through the week, you can do that. You can also serve this on or with any kind of crackers. A soft roll, just split the roll and put it in it. When I was a kid, we used to have it on leftover biscuits. Granny or somebody would make a big batch of biscuits in the morning, and then we would have this at lunchtime on the leftover biscuits. I don't have any leftover biscuits today. Brett ate them all, so I don't have biscuits for it today. And you can also make sandwiches out of it. Now, you can dice up some tomato and put it in your ham salad, or you can add a big thick slice to your sandwiches. And in the country, everything in the summertime gets a big slab of mater because you got plenty of maters. And summertime's coming up. Most of us are gardening a little bit. We at least have some tomatoes and some peppers and stuff planted, some cucumbers maybe. So this is a way to use up one or two of those tomatoes. Dice it up, or like I said, slice a big slice and put it on your sandwich. You can put some leaf lettuce on your sandwich, or you can even dice that up and mix it in your ham salad if you're going to be serving it on crackers or something. So it's super simple. If you want your ham pureed, you can put it in a food processor and puree it, but that's not the way I had it. Just dump everything in a bowl and mix it up. You might want some salt and pepper to season it with. Be careful with salt, because ham is usually salty and you'll get too much in a hurry. I always put a little pepper in mine. I taste it, see if it needs salt. I use a little onion powder in mine because if you've watched my videos before, you know I can't eat raw onions. If you don't have a problem with raw onions, or any of the people you're feeding don't have a problem, some finely chopped onions is great in this. Chop up some onions. But since I can't eat them, I'm using some onion powder to season mine. And it's to taste, so you'll just have to taste that and measure it yourself. I am going to put the cheese in mine. Like I said, you don't have to. That's just something that I like. And my mayonnaise. If you like more mayonnaise, put more. If you like less or none, do less. The same thing with the mustard. It really is all the taste. You can use a little bit of lemon juice to season this too. Just about anything will work in it. And the egg, you can chop it with a knife. You can actually pick it up with your hand and squeeze it. You can mash it with a potato masher. You can put it in a food processor. For something this size, I usually use a good stiff fork and just kind of mash it with the tongs. When I was cooking big batches of stuff, I would squeeze them while they were still warm, and they'll mash up almost instantly. I do recommend using gloves if you do that though, because you'll have eggs stuck all under your fingernails and everything if you just mash them up. But if you got to cook a ton of it, that's a really fast way to get them mashed up quick. And you just want it in little pieces like that. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of pepper and a little bit of the onion powder. You can put any other spices in here that you like to. Garlic, if you like garlic. Even a little cinnamon would be good in this, because a lot of times you make ham glaze and stuff with cinnamon. Just anything. If you're using leftover glazed ham, I probably wouldn't add any more. But if you're using a really salty ham, you could put a little cinnamon in it if you want it. Now you can see how pretty this would be with some diced green peppers in it. And I wish I had some ready in the garden already, and as the season goes on you'll have those. Some diced tomato, even some diced up lettuce would add more color to it. And this would be great for a Sunday lunch, especially if you were going to have people over and you were going to sit around and visit, maybe even sit out on the porch and enjoy it. Like I said, you can make this Saturday night, stick it in the fridge, everybody comes over Sunday, and just set out a big tray of crackers and rolls, or maybe even make a big batch of biscuits. That's it. You've got a really easy meal that you can stretch. If you want to put it in the pasta, how much you add, again, is how far you need to stretch it, and how many people you're feeding. Like in this much, you could easily add 8 ounces of uncooked pasta, and it wouldn't be too much pasta to overpower the flavor of the ham and everything. And then you could serve it with crackers, and it would really go a long way. But give this super easy recipe a try when you're trying to find some way to use all those leftovers up, or if you've just got a little bit of ham left over and maybe somebody called and said, hey, we're coming over, and you're like, uh-oh. This will save you a little bit of ham. You can feed a crowd with it. Before we go, Galatians 3:28 and 29 says, there is neither Jew nor Greek, neither bond nor free, neither male nor female, for you're all one in Christ Jesus. And if you be Christ, then are ye Abraham's seed, and your heirs according to the promise. And that means that we are all part of God's family. We are one family. We are all His children. Everybody who has accepted Christ, we're one family. And that's how we see it. You're my brother or sister. You're another child of God. We don't see each other as different in any way. And that's how the majority of people are. We are all seeds of Abraham. We are all one in Christ. And Christ settled that 2,000 years ago. So, that's over. And if you are not an heir to the promise, if you don't know what that means, if you're not part of God's family, then I want to encourage you to seek Jesus Christ. And if you have questions, if you need help, you leave a comment, and somebody on this channel will answer you, or I will answer you. We will get back with you, and we will do everything we can to help you become part of the family. If you have not already, please don't forget to click like and subscribe before you leave. And until next time, remember to put God first.